Summer through fall, I hear starry eyes for you. Just give a call and we'd run anywhere with a few. Yeah, and you're Mercedes, tell me I'm your dream come true. We threw fuel on the fire, but it burned out quick. Adored the thought of love, but it never did stick. Don't you think the truth tastes so bittersweet? We're losing all the feeling and we get high on the streets. I think we hit the ceiling, babe. Death for you, death for you and me. Strange to believe that we were just a fantasy. Yeah, we're self-deceived and thinking we were meant to be. Don't you think the truth tastes so bittersweet? We're losing all the feeling and we get high on the streets. I think we hit the ceiling, babe. Death for you, death for you and me. I was staying up all in the west side, turning all my days into nights. I was waiting up all in the west side, waiting for your call, but you had someone else in mind. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. Was I just enough to get you through? Breaking my heart, I was a fool for you. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. You were playing me the whole time, telling all your lies to both sides. You were playing me the whole time. No one there to break my fall. Blink of an eye and now you're not mine. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. Was I just enough to get you through? Breaking my heart, I was a fool for you. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah.
I don't think I love me anymore. Maybe I think too much, so I drink to rush all my demons out the door. Tell me that it's all inside my head. Call it OCD, tell me it's you, not me, cause it's driving me mad. I don't think I'm losing my mind, building all these walls over time. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you, yeah, I'll find you. And pride, my insecurities haunting my memories, cause I'm holding them inside. Let go, put my thoughts back into words. Feels like I let me down, ain't got no golden crown, I'm just trying to be right. I don't think I'm losing my mind, building all these walls over time. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you, yeah, I'll find you.
And all of the bad times, yeah, they've been adding up. I'm Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're mine. I can't seem to. I can't seem to.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome as we are getting ready to start week 3 of League of Legends. We'll have Concordia University up against NAU, which I believe stands for Northern Arizona University. For some reason, I feel like I'm wrong on that, so I will double and triple check myself. But we are ready to get things started here. I am joined by the Iron Praetor, if he can hear me, and if everything else hasn't totally screwed itself up. Are you there?
I don't know. Are you there? Hello? Sir?
I'm just screwing with you. Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, how's it going?
That's a lot less effective when I leave when you can't hear it because streamer mode on Discord. But I left. Just so you know.
I didn't hear a thing. So to me, I was like, he's just screwing with me right back. Anyways, we are going to see a League of Legends game going down here. Both teams are currently in the pick and ban phase, and we're getting to kind of watch it right now go down. Obviously, the Jhin being banned away from El Green Gazo. No chance in Hades that he's ever going to get to play that in a competitive game unless the other team is literally sleeping on, when they look at his OPGG. But he is going to end up picking up the Draven. And, they do the picks and bans, of course, in a pre-pick scenario. So we'll see coming through here that I Am Relux is actually going to end up picking the Ziri. And that was their first pick that they snagged away. And then on the Concordia side, Draven and Lux were picked, so the bot lane was secured there. Tom Kench and Diana were picked next for NAU. And then the Nasus rounded it out for the first round of picks. Then, obviously, we got second round of bans, a couple top laners and a mid laner banned out for Concordia. Same on the other side with the mid laner and top laner there. So, next pick was the Nasus, followed by the Gragas Scion, and then a Vel'Koz. So right now things, sort of shaping up for both teams. You can definitely see sort of a focus on more perhaps late game scaling for NAU. But do you have any thoughts right now as we're going to get loaded on here soon?
I think scaling-wise, both teams are about even. Scion obviously gets super tanky late. I haven't seen a lot of Zeri play, so I assume she's probably mid-game power spike, but I don't know for sure. Draven, very strong early game into mid-game. Vel'Koz, late scaling. Nasus, late scaling. Yeah. It's I think it's gonna shape up to be a pretty good game overall. I like the Poppy into the canceling some of the movement abilities from NAU. With the Diana and the Gragas and the Zeri, that's a lot of movement that Poppy can potentially interrupt or block with her W. So yeah, it looks like it'll be pretty good. I can't help but notice that Mr. Boogie Woogie is absent.
Yes, so a couple different players. We have got a lot of subs in for CUNE right now. Beaston, who is kind of just a back sub of all subs, is coming in this game to help us out. We've also got usually, I mean, Sands of Time is kind of a staple now on the roster, but he's also kind of a sub that hops in there. But yeah, we had to bring in yet another sub to help us through the season here, as there's just a lot of other stuff going on that our students are involved in, and since they're not all here just for esports quite yet on the League of Legends side of things, we run into some availability issues. I can call it that, and that sounds about the best. This, of course, is a great time for anybody who is watching to let you know that we are, of course, recruiting for our League of Legends team. If you are interested, please reach out to me and my email, and you can find all that information, I believe, down below in our Twitch stream. And
Don't reach out to me, I'll just block you.
Exactly. Yeah, you reach out to him, he's gonna be like, "Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing? What's going on here?" Yeah. No. So
why you contact me? Anyways,
yeah. So it's definitely a bit of a rough patch, honestly, for us in the season, because we're just having a tough time trying to keep everybody running in their same positions, and so now we're trying to get real interesting. But a couple things now. El Grigazo back down in the bot lane. He's going to be on this Draven, which I think is kind of the key pick for Concordia. You're not able to see it here, but in the pregame, we got a bit of a look at everybody's levels. El Grigazo actually just hit gold today, so congratulations to him on winning his promos. I think he went like 3-1. He was 2-0, and then he went 3-0 through his promos. Absolutely smacked it, and was like, okay, wow. I wish I could just go 3-0 in anything. But on the opposing side, you have Prince, who actually just hit Plat. So, a really strong player over there. The rest of their team is pretty decent silver players as well. So the Concordia roster really a little bit outgunned as far as the raw, let's look at just what the skill is here. We'll see if that plays into team play as well, as it's going to be a pretty rough game, honestly, for Concordia, but they can overcome it simply by trying to work together and get those objectives, as well as working around, who your key player is. So in that Draven, and also in the Poppy, who should be someone that helps them quite a bit in the in the game, trying to stop all that mobility that you were just talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Poppy's W is going to be crucial for being able to zone off some of the engage that NAU is going to have at their disposal.
And I will have you all know that the NECC is streaming the game currently. And one of the things is we are not able to also join as a spectator in the client. We have to get a secondary feed from the NECC and able to watch the game. So right now, I'm kind of just sitting here staring at a screen, and they're trying to reload in and having just a bit of issues with the stream, as it is not quite agreeing with them at the moment. There is actually apparently an active bug in the game. If you recall last week, or the last time we streamed, there was a wonderful bug with the Vel'Koz that occurs whenever he ults.
Oh boy!
I wonder if we're gonna see that again, and if we do, it's gonna be interesting. There is another bug apparently out there. If you have both, the I think it's Senna and Tom Kench on the same team, apparently there's a bug there that causes some issues in the game.
Oh boy. Just the way I like it.
Yes, it's gonna be a kind of an interesting thing. Rito Spaghetti Code having a real tough time. This also might explain a little bit of why the quality is a bit different today. as opposed to normal times. They are zooming out the screen too, which really doesn't help on the
Yeah, I
on
was
our
gonna
side.
say, I wish we could do that with our client, because
I think we can. I think you actually can. Like, this is the
this
same
is like the
client.
sniper view
This
for when you're
isn't.
playing Hitman.
Yeah, this is the same client. I just don't ever zoom out to this.
I don't know how. I
I
just assume this is.
I'd have to look it up. I've done it once before, but yeah, you can zoom out to this. It's just, yeah, it to me it is not as great. It's good in like a team fight thing, but in normal just watching the game, I actually prefer to have it zoomed in just a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly how the game plays out, because Draven really strong early game, and there's lots of actually good items that I think would fit into a Draven build that would really help him against some of what the enemy team has composition wise. They've obviously got a lot of health in the Scion, but there's also a decent amount of shielding from the Scion, the Diana, Tom Kench, and Zeri passive as well. Gives her shielding based on the shielding she destroys when she does damage. So getting the lethality item that cuts shielding might be worthwhile for him. There's a little bit of sustain on the enemy team, so early healing cut may not be a terrible idea, you know, to battle with the Tom Kench sustain and to battle with the Gragas sustain. Obviously, though, with Vel'Koz, early you kind of just want to try and get to that first item, I feel like, your Mythic. At the very least, get your Lost Chapter going, so that'll alleviate some of your mana problems through your level ups and such. But, you know, I do actually think it's a pretty balanced comp from both sides, and it's really gonna kind of come down to who takes the lead and runs with it, really.
You know, and that's in any game where both teams have kind of a similar comp when it comes to where their power spikes are. You're right. It comes down a lot to just the last, like, all right, what are they going to get? You know, who's going to screw up, you know, makes the first mistake? That's always kind of the big question mark. Even in games, it's just early game. Early game, it's always the, all right, who oversteps first? Which jungler gets in there and has a wonderful time or gets that early gank off? That's kind of key. So we'll have to see how it goes here. As, you know, the Diana, I think, is going to have more pressure coming in as far as kill potential, but the Poppy has quite a bit in CC and also anti-CC. So we're going to see the level 3 gank here. Prince, though, also going to show up. Nothing going to be done, though, as they will just sort of hold off for the moment. Meanwhile, top lane, Beaston and Josh Joestar will be battling it out back and forth. CS lead actually very heavily in favor of Joestar up there, as Beaston is someone who is obviously one of our subs and not quite as comfortable in this lane as we would like him to be. The Bug, though, coming up, getting a nice early gank. There's the flash. And a nice Q, actually, there from Beaston does mean that he goes quite low up there. Getting a little bit of an advantage. Maybe able to get more pressure going on here. Does keep up level-wise, though, which is always a good sign, honestly. Even if you're behind in CS, that means they haven't been pushed out of the lane, and that the Nasus is able to at least keep up level-wise, if not gold-wise. Because sometimes that really can help you, especially, you know, if you're trying to play in a lane where you're going to kind of get beat up.
Yeah, definitely. And it's actually, it's been a while since it's been mentioned, because it's been a while since the swap around. The slight, it's not really a rework, but the modification to Diana's kit to swap out her ultimate dash with the AoE knockup actually made her, I think, much stronger in terms of kind of this having that kill potential earlier. Because used to, you know, as Diana, you didn't have any gap closers until you hit your ultimate level 6, right? But ever since they moved that over to the E and swapped the E ability, the knockup, to the ultimate, I think that's definitely helped her because she's able to close those gaps. She's able to get in, start dealing those damage, get that poking down. Also interesting to see the Diana going Conquers this game. I think the most common Diana rune picks are either Conquerors or Electrocute. Conquerors if you're planning more extended fights with the enemy team. Assassin or Electrocute if you're going a more assassin build, trying to obviously get those one shots off, right? But you know, when you're going up against something like a Poppy or a Nasus who may not necessarily burst you outright, getting those Conquerors stacked up and getting that sustain off of those is actually pretty nice to have in some of these scrappy fights.
Yeah, you know, and we're just gonna watch now as it appears they're, you know, getting the pressure on that top turret. A lot of gold is going into the pocket of Josh Joestar there, and that's going to be kind of concerning when it comes down to this mid game, simply because it kind of helps to accelerate him, you know, into the late game faster, which is not something you really want. We will see Leche, though, getting ganked by the bug. He does use his ultimate, and he uses his flash, and Leche...
Hey, guess what bug they didn't fix,
Guess what bug is not fixed, guys?
Delicious.
That's great.
And now the NECC guys
are probably sitting there going, huh, well, interesting.
For sure.
And we're all sitting here going, it's a great time to be watching some League of Legends, isn't it? What a good time. Beautiful game. Well done, Riot. Fantastico. It's a good time.
It feels glorious.
It feels glorious upon our sweet faces. Anyways, we will see the game continue on here, and I'm going to guess the NECC guy...
Please don't back up to the Vel'Koz ult.
They really... actually, they're at the point where the Vel'Koz ult, I think, happens, and no, they're not.
Crashed.
Did it just crash? No. Poppy, see, Poppy's over here, so it didn't happen. There's another crash that's happening for some reason.
I think they.
I think he paused it.
No.
He's paused it.
He probably
is what he's
it,
done.
yeah.
You can see he's paused it.
Bro.
But anyways, they will not get the kill, because the obviously you saw that they didn't have any vision, so they didn't know where to aim the rest of that Vel'Koz ultimate, and so. It'll just sort of turn out to be a little bit of a wash there. No kill coming through. First blood happened. And we don't know how it happened because...
Poppy went bot.
Poppy must have gone bot and missed a kill there. Or, sorry, died. Not missed a kill. Just flat out died.
Or bot roamed up.
Or they roamed up. They could have done that as well. Right, and so we see Joestar here. He's going to get harassed a little bit by the turret. That should keep Beastin safe for the most part. He's not going to be in too much trouble to get things going. Leche here in the mid lane. Oddly enough, we actually will be... I'm not going to go into that conversation. Joestar in the top lane.
Here, different combo. I hate Zeri. Have I mentioned I hate Zeri today? I know I mentioned it a lot last time.
You did mention it now. Now that you mention it, you have mentioned it. Sands of Time up against Leche here, as Leche will have his ultimate back up. And so there is a very good opportunity, and that's going to be Sands of Time getting a kill, and we will see the server crash.
Killed the replay.
One more time. Double kill? Yeah. It's actually a triple kill, because not only does it kill our stream, but it kills the NECC stream on top of it. So
also, apparently in the replay, it looks like Prince reconnected their jungler.
Yeah, Prince.
I don't know what that was about.
Prince is disconnect. I think he's actually having some connection issues. We knew one of their team members was having issues, unbeknownst to anything else. I am gonna DM the guy. I was really kind of thinking that this was fixed, and now that I know
No,
it's not
no.
fixed, I guess
There
we'll get
was
to
no hot fix for it.
report it
so-
again or something. But I honestly don't know. It's really funny to me.
You want to know what was fixed? Some of the mid-patch adjustments. Renata Glask, the new champion. There were some adjustments to her kit. There were some Draven and Rek'Sai adjustments as well. But no bug fixes. No bug fixes for Vel'Koz. What a shame. But yeah, no, I really don't like Zeri as a champion, just because it's the epitome of Rito overcomplicating the uncomplicatable.
Yeah,
Like people have said that Triforce is the way to build on her. I've built Triforce, just in practice games, goofing around. I don't see the damage difference. I really don't. And I don't know if it properly interacts, if there's a bug, if my client's broken. But it's just like, okay, so normally Triforce would just boost your normal attack damage, but if you're doing a set amount of attack damage over a certain number of attacks, does it just increase that by whatever the Triforce attack damage would normally increase it by, or is there some other weird, unbeknownst magic to me that makes it actually work? It doesn't need to be as complicated as it is. It really doesn't.
it doesn't, and yet Riot continues to put in paragraphs for their hero abilities, and we have to
Indeed.
do a lot of science on it. Now, I mean, there is a part of me that is okay with that, because it's like, oh yeah, let's get some interesting stuff that has cool interactions, or perhaps even like a unique, make a character more unique. But then there are some times where I'm like, we're just getting stuff added to the game just because we feel like we just need to add and complicate some things. But, there are times
I think
that
Zeri
I think
is
it's worth it.
interesting additions, but she's too complicated of an interesting addition. Now,
Hey, we got a decent little engage there. Leche does get the cask thrown off there and some damage through. Elgreen Gazo is going to find some damage thrown onto him. Prince is in the back lines, just waiting for his opportunity. He's basically just going to come in, pick off Elgreen Gazo, and Kaylin will also get killed. There's the double kill. Joseph Joestar against Beastin up here. I'm just going to smack it out a little bit. The ultimate not coming out, or already has already come out from Beastin. So that's not a good scenario, as Josh Joestar does end up getting the kill up there. The bug is going to be here, and he's going to do just enough because the turret was basically attacking Josh the entire time. And it looks like he's actually just getting question mark pinged by his entire team, I guess. I don't know. That's really kind of
probably
funny.
because he's spamming that emote BM in the top laner. Interesting to see the Hullbreaker Scion coming out. I don't think I've seen that in normal play yet, but it's Hullbreaker is the I want to win because I'm split pushing item. So
That's
you
true.
build it and nobody shows up to your lane. You just kind of go and go and go and die and go and go and go, and it gives you bonus stats for when you're the only one there. So it's great split pushing item. A little unfortunate to see Beastin not building any damage items. I was fine with the tabbies first, just to get the extra defense against the Scion.
True, yeah.
But at some point, you got to build a little bit of damage, because that's the whole point of Nasus, is getting enough damage that you can start reliably farming that Q, getting enough cooldown, you can reliably start farming that Q, and then getting to late game where your Q just does insane amounts of damage. So getting the mana crystal and the armor early, that's enough to buy your what is it, your Sheen?
Yeah,
to
Sheen
get your
for
Spellblade
sure.
at least.
As a first item, very important there. We're gonna see two different fights break out as the bug is gonna go up against Prince. He has disconnected, so actually easy kill. Very unfortunate for Prince there, as he did have a 300 gold bounty on his head and just walks into the enemy jungle to die.
The champion formerly known as Prince.
I didn't even really realize that, and I was
gonna make the joke earlier when you were like, he just got platinum today, and I was like, oh, the jungler formerly known as gold.
Absolutely. Leche gonna be in a little bit of a pickle here. He does have to use his flash and a couple other abilities. He will not be able to get away because the bug is also gonna expend his flash. Beastin up here, maybe gonna find the 12 stacks. Doesn't actually find it with the Q there. And Josh Joestar down here, which, by the way, I just want to continuously call him Joseph. Just absolutely dumb. Why would you name yourself this?
He names themselves Joshua. Anyways.
That's...
For any
whose
that don't know, my
parents
first name is actually
are
Josh.
such cringe that they would name their kid Joshua.
Or, much less, Joshua Key.
With the unsexiest middle name possible. Anyways, back to the game of League of Legends happening in front of us. We're gonna see that that was one of Ziri's more interesting abilities, being able to surf along those walls, and gets in there to help get the kill on to the bug, who right now having an okay time, dead even there in the jungle. Beastin up against Leche is going to be turning in the favor of Leche very heavily here. Item-wise, gold-wise, level-wise, they're still the same, but man, there's a very big deficit really coming through right now for Beastin up here. And, just going to get more damage down. Has to flash. The cask does come through, but it won't be enough.
Q.
It should just be a, follow-up Q right there. Thinking the dash and then the Q. So Josh Joestar is here, going to take on the bug. He's actually going to find himself, though, in just a bit of a predicament. Prince is here, but the ultimate from the bug is going to keep both of them back, and he will just smite away the Gromp, securing it for himself. So engage there. Doesn't lead to any kills, simply just jungle being traded. And the second dragon going to be taken here by NAU. They'll also drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane. As the bug and Sands of Time, we're going to have to deal with that. We will get an Infernal Drake, interestingly enough. There's the bug, able to stop Prince from just totally diving in on him there. As Concordia, looking to stop two sieges, one from the top lane, one here in the mid lane. The bug does get caught out just a little bit here. The Ziri trying to put down some damage. Able to get the bug down to about half health. Josh Joestar showing up. Nova Prince is also waiting in the wings. There's Josh Joestar getting ready to start the engage. I'm Relux. Does get the kill there. Prince able to find Sands of Time. He's probably going to find himself a double kill here onto the bug and does so. El Green Gazo going to be in some trouble, but he has enough damage. Double kill comes through. They do get the turret. Able to dodge that licking there from Nova. Won't be able to dodge the second one. He's going to get knocked. Ooh, wow. He avoided the knock up there, which was actually very well done. He's going to be in a bit of trouble as he has to either decide to run back or just defend that bottom turret. Beastin up here is continuing to battle it out with Leche. Leche is going to take some tower shots, but he's able to get out of there. Beastin is about half health. Will go down lower if he does get in the damage of that barrel, which he does. The bug coming up, trying to advance onto Leche as the rest of the team has moved back, so Leche has no, nothing distracting mid lane to kind of keep him safe. He will have his flash up here somewhat soon. That root does come through, though. Oh, and the bug able to hit him with the left-handed throw from the Poppy. So Concordia able to find, honestly, it was mostly a lost fight. They try to find a little bit of something in the top lane. Beastin up here with the bug, but Shiminy Chris. Joestar able to find the 1v1 he wants. Beastin in trouble. Gonna have to fall back. He's just probably gonna fall here if Joe does flash, and He's not gonna have to ult. He will just get the auto attack there. The bug gonna be in a different situation too, as it's. I mean, I apologize. It's just nonstop action right now as Concordia is trying to run back. They kind of overextended a little bit too much. The bug goes down to nothing and will get killed. Now Concordia has to decide whether they defend this top lane or not, as the team for NAU, I believe, is looking at that Baron with some pretty hungry eyes.
For sure, yeah. NAU just kind of got a bunch of early leads in a bunch of places and have just been in control of the game most of the game. The gold lead looks like 14k in favor of NAU. Turret lead obviously to their favor as well. Just ooh, Gringazo having to flash there.
Yeah, he just has to flash because, I mean, there's a lot of damage on the side of NAU. They've got 3 members on the Baron. That's enough to do it for them, and they'll have 2 members now up here to just take this turret pretty easily once they kind of allow this second wave to come in, and the buffed up minions will be involved. El Gringazo trying to do his best to kite out of here. Leche, though, right on his tail. They will find him at the cost of Leche. And that means Josh Joestar. Listen, I've watched the anime, so it's Joseph Joestar to me, as that's actually going to be a killing spree double kill coming through for Prince, and that should be the end here of this first game. Sands of Time is going to pop out there, but he's going to just get popped as the client is going to crash.
Into the game.
Oh, the client's going to crash, and that actually means GG. We won't even get to see the end score screen for any of this crap.
Yep. Won't be able to rejoin the game
because we're not going to be able to rejoin. Yeah, it's a fun time here on the stream. Once again, we are at the mercy of the NECC stream commander. So, Josh, let's just kind of break it down. Obviously, there were some problems in the top lane that led to that getting ahead. Zeri, I mean, had a decent effect once the roaming started and kept mostly, I will say, kept El Gringazo and Draven in a unknown area. Basically made sure he did not have a very big effect on the game and just kept up with them, so then the Draven doesn't do, anything here in the late game.
Yeah, I think actually, funnily enough, I think Tom Kench is a pretty good pick into Draven, because even though you can poke him pretty hard, I feel like a lot of that poke doesn't stick because Tom just kind of heals it back up, and if you do try to all in him, you've got to then get through the big shield, right? Early on, and so I think some of that survivability actually helped him survive against the strong early game and poke that the Draven Lux had personally.
Right, and so we'll be right back, as basically we're not going to get to see the end screen for the game. The guy's probably got to restart his entire client. We'll see if Vel'Koz gets picked. Yeah, he has to restart his entire client. So we're going to give him a little bit of privacy as he types in his information. And I'll switch it over to the intermission screen. We'll be right back here in just a bit to have Game 2 between Concordia University and NAU.
Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know where I'm at every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem fixed it. If I wanted to stop, I would've let it go. But I get it, it's alright. 'Cause I can't keep my shit together. Safe, yeah, can't debate that. Don't want shit to get better, 'cause it made me forget it all and I hate that. Last summer, everything was easy. We had it all, didn't we, baby? No wonder you couldn't keep it. It got harder than you thought it would be. You stopped loving me on the dark nights. Now you won't kiss me in the sunlight. Last summer, I know you leave me, 'cause loving me is the big thing.
In my head like a melody, laying back in this bed, playing back what you said, and it's not really helping me. Coming down from this high is a dangerous ride. I'm coasting, out of body floating, lost in my emotions. I've been spinning slowly, trying to keep my head above water. Then you go and pull me under. Crazy thing, I know I'm done for, stuck in this state of wonder. Stuck in this state of wonder, yeah. Stuck in this state of wonder.
넌 날 미치게 해 Yes 빠지게 돼 I don't care 모든 것을 대해 전부 잊게 돼 And I just want you right here with me 끝이 없이 우린 floating Lost in your deep oceans 깊이 스며가 slowly
Trying to keep my head above water. Then you go and pull me under. Crazy thing, I know I'm done for, stuck in this state of wonder. Stuck in this state of wonder, yeah. Stuck in this state of wonder. Trying to keep my head above water. Then you go and days after 9/11. Crazy thing, I know I'm done for, stuck in this state of wonder.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another game here of League of Legends. We head into Game 2 between Concordia University and NAU, Northern Arizona University. I am, of course, the coach for the Concordia team, Ryan, a.k.a. Tom's Dragon. And joining me is Josh the Iron Praetor, not to be confused with Josh Joestar. But how could we ever do that? Instead, we just call the other guy Joseph Joestar consistently, hoping his name
Joey
changes.
Joestar, baby.
Anyways, we're back with another game. As you can see, we're going to be switching sides as Concordia University, Nebraska has decided they would like to have the blue side. Concordia will be going with the Nasus in the top lane again, Warwick. In the jungle, Lux mid, with Kaisa Nautilus being in the bot lane. On the opposing side, Camille will be top lane with Diana in the jungle once again. Yone in the mid lane, and a sub for the NAU team in Why Does Float. And then Aphelios Leona in the bot lane with Leche, who was in the mid lane before, switching down to the support role. So, it's, kind of cracking open a new game here, and the bot lane for sure is going to be kind of the power punch. Obviously, we've got a Leona versus Nautilus. Leona being a hard hitter, heavy influencer in, like, basically the entire game. On top of that, you do have sort of the Yone, Camille, Diana, kind of your heavy, backline divers for the most part. And Concordia having a decent front line, but then again, squishy back line. So I think it's really going to be, once again, a game that kind of comes down to, how well does, Camille do in the top. Obviously, in the previous game, Josh was able to sort of take over that lane, CS-wise, and really build a big power spike there. Diana was able to have some influence across the whole jungle. Had a couple weird moments just because of some disconnections. We haven't seen Yone, and we haven't seen this player yet, so, opinion there is kind of waiting to see how that sort of pulls out. But then the Kaisa Aphelios. Obviously, the bot lane for Concordia is what they want to play around. Switching Sands of Time and Kaylin between those two spots. So, anything you're seeing from your perspective there?
No, I think you kind of hit it all on the head. Decent comps overall. A lot of scaling for Concordia. Decent early to mid game power with late game scaling from Aphelios for NAU. So more than likely, yeah, really just gonna come down to how each side is able to play it. Camille gets pretty terrifying late game with the true damage that she's able to do on her Qs. Diana obviously scaled really well. Yone does pretty well. It's kind of going to depend on how well Kaylin's able to trade with him and if he's really able to snowball early. Same for the Aphelios. I feel like Kaisa currently is very, very mid to late game. She needs like 3 items minimum to start to kind of feel viable. And by that, so the main 3 items that I think usually get built are like Manamune, Nashor's Tooth, and another attack, Rage Blade maybe. With those 3 items, basically you're able to evolve all 3 of your abilities to their next forms. Looking at an invasion from NAU though.
Yeah, when you have the Leona, it's a very easy invasion, squad. Luckily, the person that they find for Concordia is Sands of Time. He has the ability to say, no, thank you, I don't want to be a part of the party, and he's able to nope out on the wall. So, obviously, kind of a big opportunity there for him. They do get some early wards in the jungle, and so they'll at least have that kind of as a way to track where the jungler is going for Concordia.
Ignite's on cooldown though for NAU now in their bot lane now, so kind of.
Oh, didn't
kind
see
of
that.
Yeah, the Leona got really aggressive in there, and they couldn't follow up. So
yeah,
that's gonna put a little bit of extra power in the side of Concordia, because they don't have to be wary of that Ignite. Leona's got plenty of other stuff to worry about, but Ignite is not one of them.
But Ignite ain't one of them. That's actually, yeah, you're correct. That's going to be kind of a slightly big deal. just with, how strong Leona is, level 1, level 2, level whatever the heck she feels like doing stuff, it is going to be a factor here now, because they won't have to at least be afraid of like that ignite ticking down the last bit of damage. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Josh Joestar is honestly just going to have a heyday. He's already on a bully champion. Beaston is new, not really able to, control the lane quite as well as you would hope. And so, the unfortunate side for Concordia there is that Josh Joestar will have his way in the top lane. We will see the early level 2, and I'll let you talk a little bit as we see. I don't think they're going to do any engaging quite yet. That's kind of just what I was thinking that they might do, but
trying to zone them off, it looks like. But I was going to say, in addition to being a bully champion, if you don't have experience playing against that Camille, the Camille was picked after the Nasus, and I think it's a really good counter pick to Nasus, because it's like, Nasus flows you, what do? You hook shot away, and bye. Slow doesn't do anything. But in addition to that, as Nasus, if you're not familiar with Camille or experienced, gank by Warwick.
Gank by Warwick is going to happen, as Josh Joestar will be in some trouble. Prince is on the way, so we'll see which part of this duo squad can strike first. It looks like Concordia is just going to back off for the moment, as they do see the Diana coming in, but the collapse here onto the Warwick is going to happen. Meanwhile, the AD carry for NAU is a bit separated from his support, as they now are going to start focusing on Leche. There isn't a kill, by the way, in the top. That's going to be a nice grab there. The Leona does go in, though, as it's just going to be, you have to hard engage as Leona. You can't really move around, do anything else. El Green Gazo and Sands of Time, though, continuing to find pressure here. That's going to be El Green Gazo going extremely low, though. And that's going to give enough time for this Diana maybe to show up. And that's going to be a double kill for the bot lane, as Diana isn't able to show up. The Bug, though, going to have a little bit of a danger zone. He does get the fear off, though, so Float not able to do anything. And a 2-0 in the pocket of the AD carry for Concordia University.
Yeah, wonderfully played by the Concordia bot lane there. It was I've never seen it before. When Bug was top fighting the Camille, that was an interesting interaction, that the fear caught her before her hookshot finished, and it just cancels it, I guess.
Yeah.
She didn't finish pulling herself to the wall. I didn't realize that was interruptible in that way, so that was very interesting to see. But I was gonna say about the Camille kit with her passive shielding with damage. If you're not experienced as a Nasus player and you don't realize how to play against that, personally, I would trigger that shield with my E, because it does magic damage, and then use the full power of your Q physical damage, because it's not going to block any of that now, right? To kind of eat through that and let her not get the best benefit of that shielding as possible. Whereas if you try to Q first, that shield's going to block most of your Q damage and a lot of your follow-up damage, and you're not going to get the most from what little trades you might get. See right there, the physical damage shielding just took a lot from a lot of that damage, and he's actually going to go down to ignite, maybe?
He probably will go down. No, the last tick actually doesn't get it.
All right.
Interesting. So, I thought too, but had just enough health to survive that. Gets away with very little health indeed. But, yeah, so right now, 2-0. Concordia does have the kill advantage, but this gold advantage is going to start really just sort of keeping even with that, simply because the top lane is going to start out farming. Mid lane is now out farming nearly double. It's going to be just a bit of a struggle on the Concordia side. They're trying, pretty hard to keep up with the laners, but, bullying the top lane, especially against someone who's having issues, just being a newer player, honestly, to the game, is going to start causing that to sort of carry out of proportion. But down in the bot lane, Sands of Time, El Green Gazo, these are the two carries for Concordia. And if the Bug is able to somewhat assist in the jungle with any of this, really, it could turn out being a fairly even game and we'll have to see what happens in a team fight scenario. Right now, Kalen going to be in a bit of trouble here as Prince does show up. Gets in on that. There will be an Ignite expended even by White as Float. Maybe a little bit of an overkill there, honestly. But they do get the kill for themselves. It'll be 1 kill into the pocket of Prince. And we continue to see some action here in the bot lane, as that's going to be a really big engage. Down goes Hi, I'm Relux. And Leche, honestly, soon to follow. Simply running around a little bit, just trying to waste some time. Gets that hook and just dies.
Yeah, really good engage there from the Nautilus. The Aphelios not exactly respecting the lead right now that Concordia has.
Yeah, definitely not. You know, and right now Concordia taking even more of an advantage here. They're gonna try and go for this Drake. Meanwhile, Beastin up here really duking it out with Josh, but it's a hard fight when you're behind this far now. She already has her, you know, ability to kind of shut you down. The ultimate also there for her. Beastin might be able to survive that, but I mean, honestly, that is his mission at this point, is survive. You know, there's not much else, just like survival mode. Engage.
Honestly, unless you get ahead as Nasus, that's usually your goal. Survive, farm your passive, and eventually you'll just. It's interesting because Camille has really good scaling, especially because the second proc of her Q deals true damage. Prince coming up with the gank though.
Yeah, Prince coming up here with the gank, and the ultimate out of Beastin won't come out. I thought it was definitely coming out there after the ultimate from Joestar, but didn't end up coming out, so he will just go down fairly easily. The kill does go over to Joestar, which is going to be good for him. Actually, failed flash there. At first, I kind of thought it was a cheeky flash where I'm like, flashed over the Yone ultimate. That's some big IQ. But I believe it's supposed to go over the wall there. And so that's
like, is that
why.
Gonna do any damage?
That's why it was actually a failed ultimate, or failed flash, because didn't get the first engage. So the bug is able to get up top though. Slays Joestar. And so, like I kind of mentioned earlier, the other person on this team that for Concordia that needs to have some action in their direction is the Buck. If they can have a little bit of influence on some of the other lanes, and El Gringazo and Sands of Time can kind of, you know, pick up their lane and carry, then it might be closer than what we're kind of thinking based off of the previous game. Now, I mean, that's still said with a grain of salt. I mean, you can definitely have a pretty good carry. Prince right now sitting at 1-0 and you know, doing well CS wise. Also looking for pretty decent gank mid here. Gonna get this gank off. And that's actually a really, really good ultimate there from Kalen, but the damage is not quite enough as Prince will not fall. But fairly well done, trying really hard to get the damage off and allow the turret to really assist with taking out those targets, but it's just not enough. The Bug, though, coming in, he has already used his ult. Really good job on his Q. He will, of course, know that the Yone has no direction to go but backwards. Both flash. That's a Q, and the ultimate comes back up again for him, so he does use that. Forget that that's on a very, very low cooldown, honestly. And so, 2-0 is the Bug.
Yeah, good to see the Warwick pick, actually, because it's able to capitalize on a lot of those times where you get those close trades, but maybe something doesn't quite go your way, and so you're able to have Warwick speed his way in and kind of capitalize on the follow-up.
Meanwhile, down
fight bot lane.
yeah, I was just gonna let you talk over that because it honestly was like, oh, it was pretty simple. You checked a bush and you died for it. That is the one thing about Leona, is that if you're not going all in, you're just kind of dead if you show up and you don't have any assistance on the backside.
Right.
She doesn't have, I mean, she's got great engage and able to do all that on the front side. But the damage output is, of course, not there. And then no teammate was there either. The bug does find Prince here. Ultimate coming through from El Gringazo as Prince is trying to get some damage down. Might find Sands of Time. Does end up getting the kill onto Sands of Time. However, we will see the shutdown come through for El Gringazo, who's currently 6-0, sitting in that AD carry position.
That's exactly where you want to be as a Kaisa.
That is. It's a pretty good sweet spot there. You know, just trying to get ahead. Like you said, more of your mid to late game carry doesn't feel good until she's got a couple items under her belt. That's going to give some gold in the pocket to help Kaisa feel pretty dang good going here into what will be mid game in about 20, another 5 to 6-ish minutes. But
Kaisa is literally a full mythic ahead of the Aphelios, which is that's exactly where you want to be on a late game scaling champion, because Kaisa is just going to get stronger and stronger. I like the Gale Force pick if you can make use of it. Personally, against this comp with the potential dive and the lack of real tankiness aside from Leona, Kraken's is kind of off the table, and you really either want to go Shield Bow or, like Kaisa's currently gone, the Gale Force for the extra mobility to maybe dodge out the Yone ult, or to dodge out of some of the Leona CC or the Camille engage or the Diana engage. So I personally go Shield Bow because it relies less on my reaction time and things like that.
And yeah, we're going to see an issue here where the full engage from NAU mid laner, mid laner support, and the jungler all show up bot lane, and it's not a good time. They definitely took advantage of that fact. There was just no vision from Concordia down there in the bot lane. Lots of vision though for NAU, and they'll take the Drake here. More than likely, I would see them rotate up to also take this. To take the big ol' Skelly, but I think Concordia has already started it, and so they should pick this up. Yeah, because nobody is going to contest that. Instead, they're going to opt for a little bit of vision on the jungle side, doing exactly what you want them to do. Meanwhile, top Joseph, I just did it again. Joestar up here in the top. Does get the fear off. Gonna get a lot of damage though, and there is a collapse from mid lane. Why does Float doesn't get the kill? It will actually go to Joestar, but able to get a lot of damage off. Beaston in some trouble here as Prince and Joestar looked for the dive, but not gonna happen. Beaston still has ultimate, so that could help a lot in that engage. Instead, they'll just opt for staying back, waiting for the minions, and taking the turret out completely. So still a very big net positive in the for the side of NAU. They are pretty much way ahead gold-wise, and the pressure, two turrets to none, 1-to-1 on Drakes.
Yeah, and it's just some good decision making overall. Strong engage from the Nautilus.
Very strong engage here, and Liche not able to get the ultimate onto El Gringazo because of the mobility, like we were just talking about from El Gringazo. He just kind of goes back, takes care of the AD carry for NAU, and then they turn around and take care of the support.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Kaisa. If you're able to tag the ADC with anything, pretty much, you just hop in there, 1v1 them, and kind of just all in them, especially with the Gale Force. And that's the thing with the Gale Force is, in addition to being defensive, you can also make it offensive. Mid lane roaming down.
Mid lane roaming down, and of course, they don't see that the bug is here. They just kind of thought it was the AD carry along with the support. Prince also going to get caught in this, but he's got some abilities to get in there and do some pretty major damage. So he turns the fight around. Not to mention, we do have Joestar showing up down in the bot lane, and that will be the double kill going over as NAU finds themselves 3 in that fight. It was about to turn in favor of Concordia, but with the teleport from Joestar, just won't end up finding anything, and that's on to the AD carry and the jungler, who are people that Concordia is really wanting to have them, you know, find their way, really be the carries for the squad.
Yeah, for sure. Good decision making overall by NAU when they took that dragon, you know, not opting to go up for that Rift Herald because they'd already got a good amount of damage onto the towers and turret plates were about to fall off, which means that Rift Herald effectiveness severely falls off, especially because they're ahead, and you know, claiming a tower isn't going to give them the comeback bonus or anything, right? So it's just kind of like, we can afford to give it away because we're about to get the towers anyway, and it's just not worth potential risk of going into the 3 members of Concordia that were already there.
We'll see Joestar heading up towards the top here because Beaston is quite low. Will get the stun, does get the kill. Now going to ult onto the Bug, so the Bug's not able to get away as the rest of the team collapses in around him. Prince has to flash because everything was missed there. And so with the misses, does have to expend flash. Not a huge thing since they're, you know, far enough ahead, but a little humorous simply because had the kill basically there and just had to expend one more ability to get it finished off. But that's going to be, you know, NAU really just moving forward and pushing this game now, you know, into the mid game here at almost 20 minutes. And pressure across the entire board on the map, regardless of the fact that their bot lane was not having a great time. You know, their win conditions are in their jungler and in how their mid and top lane are doing. And they were doing quite well. The engage here from Liche might happen, but it's not going to be a good one because there's a lot of members of Concordia here. The Bug doesn't have his ultimate yet. And man, Kalen missing that Q is critical, but Kalen's going to be in a really bad spot here as White as Float shows up. Liche basically going to live through this, as that's going to be El Gringazo in the middle of a bad fight. And that will be a loss of 2 for Concordia in a fight that they really should have won. But just, you know, chased a little too far, missed some key abilities. So unfortunate there. Beaston going to get caught out here by Prince. He does have to flash forward. Missing that. Prince will be dominating at 7-1. 600 cold bounty sitting on that Diana. Pretty big effect. Much bigger impact on this game than the previous one, honestly.
Yeah, and so it started out pretty decently for Concordia. Obviously, certain lanes kind of fell behind in certain areas. Kalen still has a support item built, which is going to be nerfing their gold income significantly. But you know, Warwick had some good capitalizations on kills. Obviously, Gringazo did very well bot lane, but you know, Warwick. Even if the Warwick does well, Warwick tends to fall off later, especially, you know, obviously he hasn't done much when 1v1ing Camille anymore because Camille's starting to get really far ahead. Everybody's starting to get really far ahead on NAU, except for the bot lane. Even the bot lane's got a gold bounty, though. So it's just, they started off well, but they've made some mistakes here and there, had some fights here and there, unexpected TP plays, which, I mean, that's to be expected in certain cases. Trying to go for the Baron here, though. Some people getting a little low.
Yeah, getting just a bit low there is, you know, Liche, but really, you know, they'll take it fairly easily there. They just kind of maybe started it early enough that, you know, the damage wasn't able to show up in time, and they'll still secure it, still have that objective in their pocket, and be feeling pretty good about life. Beaston not going to be feeling very good about his life here in just a second, as he will fall. Kalen deciding, no, I'm not going to get involved there, which is 100% the right decision. She'll fall back and assist with defending the turret with the rest of the team. So now that they have Baron, you know, that's you know, kind of an end game or end the game condition. You know, they've got a lot of power in their pockets, and down bot lane, that's actually going to be the Bug. ulting away. We'll see them now siege up this bot side turret. And they'll get a collapse onto the bug. And why does Float doing a little bit of flaunting there? I'll be honest, I really hate seeing that. and I will gripe about it a little bit as a coach, that it's like, come on. Yes, you're gonna beat this team, but please don't BM. Don't be like that.
Yeah, keep it sportsmanlike.
Keep it sportsmanlike, please. You know. So we'll see the Concordia team now going to be full on in defense of their squad. They have got mid and bot turret to defend. The dive onto bot turret is going to happen. Liche will find El Gringazo as he's finally able to throw his ultimate down. They will find the destruction of that bottom turret, and that will be their way to crack open the Concordia base. Now backing off will, of course, be Liche, just a little low there. Catching does not float there, and still able to get the kill. Finds a double kill, in fact. Does get shut down, though. Took a little bit too much damage there. And ends up falling. But Concordia, unfortunately, unable to win this one. This will be the final push.
If he'd spam dance less and actually gotten out of shot range of the turret.
Out of turret range, perhaps. Perhaps. We will see that there's simply, honestly, they could have ended this. It's a little bit of stalling here that I don't actually, this is a little bit of stalling, and I'm a little staring it down going, all right, I know you want to be pretty concise, but they will come back. They'll just be thorough in taking over the base of Concordia. All 5 members of Concordia are here, and that's going to be a really big pull there by the Diana. El Gringazo does go down. Sands of Time unable to get anything as well. The Bug, though, able to find 2. The Quadra kill does go over, and Joestar
so close.
Unable to figure it out, and the ace comes through. And Joestar now going to finally move in, start hitting down this last turret. And that'll be the game, as NAU does get the win, and they will be going on in Concordia. Unfortunately, with another loss this week, and it's going to be a little bit of a rough one, especially since, you know, just the full squad not being available. It honestly is just rough for Concordia in general at the moment. So we'll see the final score here. Obviously, Prince, honestly, doing, in the previous match, I think it was a lot more of a full team effort, honestly, from NAU. This one felt a little bit more one-sided with Prince, Joestar, and Why Does Float, honestly, carrying the team through, especially since their bot lane wasn't doing well. But that, that's what you want out of a team. You want, when the other side of the coin is not pulling its weight, you want them to be able to pick up the slack and go. Unfortunately for Concordia, you see the try there from El Gringazo. He had a really good try. Sands of Time was really helping him out down there. The Bug doing well in picking up the kills that Concordia wasn't able to finalize. But then in the end, having an 0-6 top lane, 0-6 mid lane is going to make that a lot more difficult. So it is going to be that. Are you any final words from you on this one?
No, I think that given what they had available to them, I think Concordia gave it their best shot. Personally, would like to see a little more sportsmanship out of NAU, even if it is you're not in the pro leagues. Don't taunt like you're in the pro leagues. Pros are pros for a reason. I'll give them excuse to taunt, but at the end of the day, I think Concordia did pretty well. Some great showmanship from Gringazo, and Bug and some of the other team members. And there's more games in the year, so just because these didn't go the best that they may have wanted, doesn't mean the next ones won't. So
exactly, and so we will have a little more action next week coming at you on Monday with some Valorant action. There's actually going to be some Valorant games over the weekend. We won't be streaming those, unfortunately, because I'm not going to be here. And so the room will be locked to where our streaming equipment is. But thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Appreciate all of the support from the Concordia group. and we will see you next week.